I'm Dawn.
Hey, and I'm John.
And this is Mileage May Vary, and we have a very special guest with us today. We have Sunny. Sunny, how's it going?
I'm great. How are y'all today?
Hey, doing pretty good. You're up in Washington, right?
I'm in just outside of Portland, Oregon, but
Portland,
I work
Oregon.
in Vancouver, Washington, right over the bridge.
Oh, okay. Weather pretty nice up there?
Yeah, yesterday was 72 and slightly overcast and just beautiful weather.
What I wouldn't give to
not
get
hot.
some 72 out here in Texas.
I think we had 102 or 112 today.
Something like that. Yeah. I need to just start cooking my food outside put the skillet outside, let the sun heat it up, because man, it's hot. Hot.
Sounds like regular Texas weather to me.
Yeah. And
It's Texas weather.
We were chatting a little bit. You have roots here in Texas, right?
I do. My mom's from Dallas, actually, born and raised. I have
Is
a
she
lot
still here?
Nope, she lives in New Mexico now, where I was born and raised.
Oh, okay.
So,
and you got a sister out here, I think you said?
I have two brothers that live in Texas. I have one that lives in Dallas and another that lives in Austin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Lots of family there, lots of cousins, a couple uncles,
So you know what good barbecue is?
I know what good barbecue is. I've had barbecue all over the country. I've made a point of it, and I like my barbecue the best. But that's.
I saw that in your eyes when you said that. I've had good barbecue. Okay.
Yep.
I had some northern barbecue. When was that, John? We went to, was it Pennsylvania?
We went to Super Saturday in Pennsylvania.
No, sorry. The one in Kansas.
Oh, that was Vision.
Vision. Yeah, we had some barbecue
Kansas
up there.
City barbecue. Yeah.
I like KC barbecue. It's all right. They're all different a little bit.
It's different.
Yeah.
Different than what, what I'm used to, being born and raised in Texas and used to what we kind of got going on. But
Wait till you get out to ASTA and have some of their barbecue where they take the coleslaw and mix something red in it. Makes it red coleslaw. Benji fed me a bunch of that stuff when we was out there for the Josh Fennell Limitless Leader Conference they were having out there. Golly.
Oh, I don't think I've ever heard of that.
I saw a bunch of videos and stuff around that looked really fun. I've actually talked with Josh too. He's a really nice guy.
Oh yeah.
I think what he's doing is really smart. Moving the needle, So great podcast. I listen to him too. Interact with him. He's a great guy, like I said.
That other guy that's with him.
You leave Brett alone. We love Brett.
I love Brett.
John's always messing with people.
Yeah, I haven't met Brett, but look forward to it.
Cool dude.
My gosh.
Cool dude. Powerhouse.
Yeah, Brett's the brains of the outfit. You got that, Josh?
That's funny.
Well, first off, Sunny, I wanted to ask you, I tried not to ask you a bunch of questions when we were chatting on the phone because I wanted to save it for the podcast.
Sure.
I was getting the spelling of your name and everything, and you said Sunny's a nickname that you go by. How'd you get Sunny? Where'd that come from?
Well, my middle name is actually Sun, but I have an uncle named Sunny, and when you tell people your name is Sun, they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
So Sunny makes more sense,
Oh, okay.
Everybody knows it's Sunny.
I didn't know if you
Sunny.
were. That's what I was gonna say. I was like, I didn't know if you were just the happy tech all the time. So this guy's always on the bright side.
No.
So.
He's a mechanic. He can't be happy.
I try to have a good attitude, but
not always.
There's some points in the day where I'm like, keep it bright.
There's that religion thing.
When it's not so sunny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Gotcha. Well,
yeah.
A little bit here. I wanted to kick off by, John messaged me, or Bob, Buck and Bob messaged me a couple weeks ago, and he said, "Hey, we're sponsoring Sunny to go to this. And I'm like, whoa, slow down. What are you talking about? I know we're going to be sponsoring you to go to ASTA, and you have not been before. Is that right?
I have not. I've seen it, on media for the last couple of years, and I've seen people go and just rave about the quality of the conference and the classes there and just the connections. And, I went to Apex last year as the first conference I've ever been to. Didn't really get any training there. I just got into some of the free classes, and I saw a bunch of the SEMA exhibits because as a custom car builder, I wanted to see some of the newest stuff. And, met the build of the custom build off guys, Troy Trepanier and some of the other people. But I haven't had any like a formal training, and I know that going to ASTA is going to get me plugged into that more than I'm getting now. Being on the West Coast, it's a little bit different than the East Coast because it's a little more sparse, I guess, or I just haven't found it. And I've in 30 years of working in shops, I've never had one shop that wanted to send me to training for any reason,
Mm.
which is
That's
amazing.
sad.
Which is
That is so
it's
sad.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I've signed up for Napa classes and this and that, and for whatever reason, I couldn't go because either the I one time I signed up, boss didn't want to pay for it. Another time I signed up, the teacher didn't show up, so it's just kind of like it's just
Ooh.
been it's
That's
just
so.
been it's odd. I
It
Yeah,
find.
really is. Really is. You know,
absolutely.
it's been said that I do more training in a month than a lot of shops across the United States do in a whole year.
Sure.
I believe in training. I believe it makes money. It makes sense. It's just I'm
Yeah.
so dedicated in educating my team and furthering their career in life to where it's not over with just turning wrenches, and you can advance and work on the latest, greatest technology out there. You need that knowledge, you
Oh,
know,
Mm-hmm.
oh, absolutely. It keep up or be relevant or fall behind.
be
And
relevant.
so so part of that when I moved from New Mexico up here to Oregon, it was partially because New Mexico's economy is just not great. And my wife is a sommelier. She needed to be in a wine industry, a wine area.
Uh-huh.
Oregon is that. We already lived in California. I didn't want to live in California. Too much red tape on everything. That place is just covered in red tape.
Yes.
So we moved to Oregon, and I took some hot rod jobs here and there, and I realized that having worked on customs for so long, it put me kind of behind. I was behind
Right.
on the new cars and being able to diag new stuff, and the technology progression was just moving forward so fast that I decided to dig into doing hot rods more. And I taught myself how to do wiring, like I can build harnesses and how sensors work and basic electrical theory from the ground, like from scratch, basically. And then I taught myself how to do tuning, like basic tuning on hot rods and muscle cars. That way, I could make the cars that I built run decent. Um, and that kind of just progressed into working on newer and newer hot rod cars that had like new technology in older cars, pro street cars and whatnot. And I found myself, well, okay, so just I find myself studying all the time. I can't stop looking at like how do I do this? How do I learn how to do this skill or whatever? And I spend a lot of time every week. I'm probably a couple hours into studying some type of system in a vehicle. Like Scanner Danner, I've got his books. I subscribe to him. I watch all his videos. Um, and other people as well. But just
Are you a member of his program?
I am, yeah.
Yeah. You
So
know,
and
and let's
he's
go
great.
back just a little bit from what you just
Sure.
said a minute ago. I spent hours learning how to do several topics you talked about. Okay.
Yeah.
If you had spent hours in classroom, and let's go back to just a simple thing you said, I'm a member of the Scanner Danner program.
Yeah.
Within 20 minutes on some of his teaching, you can learn what you try to figure out, beating your head against the wall with for
Oh yeah.
hours, and just spend 20 minutes with him. And I
Oh,
forget what
absolutely.
his subscription is. It's inexpensive. It's $20 a month, ain't it?
It's like
20.
$14 a month.
Yes, it's so
That's
cheap.
that's that's
I think it's
nothing. I mean,
I think it's Keith Perkins is $20 a month. You know,
okay.
it but if you join that kind of a deal to where you have access to those videos, that educational library, you don't have to spend all that time by yourself trying to figure all that stuff out. You're
Right.
30 years off into this. Now me, I've owned my own business for 38 years, you know.
Yeah.
And when I was in my 20s, I used to beat my head against the wall. That's why this is flat up here, you know. But when I started going to these events and training with these guys and learning
Mhm.
like you're starting to do, you're
Yeah.
going to see that the education, the opportunities abound in our industry by
Oh
being
yeah.
involved in our industry.
Oh, absolutely. Like finding change in the industry. I actually found Jeff Compton first. I started listening to his podcast, and I found change in the industry. And once I got started listening, I listened to everything they had within like 6 months, just to
Yes.
get caught up. And that made me quit my job because I realized it was such a bad job. And I went looking for a better job. And I interviewed a bunch of places, and
See what you did, Jeff?
he helped me find another job, a better place. Now,
One
I was
part
at
of our industry was changed. One part, and it made it better. That's the
it
whole
did.
goal.
Yeah, it is the goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell every technician, every shop, anybody I know in the industry, I tell them to look at the podcasts, all the podcasts, any of them.
Amen.
Absorb new knowledge all the time. If you're not, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
I always say change starts with me,
Yeah,
and change starts with you. One person, one thing at a time. That's how we'll get a better industry.
exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. And I know Jeff can't fish for shit. That's okay with me. He likes to catch them little fish. You ever get to go out
Well,
with me, Jeff? You understand what big fish are like.
I remember fishing with my my grandpappy outside of Athens, Texas, and we were getting the big carpy and the big bass.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
big fish. I
Yeah.
remember him almost pulling me out of the boat when I was like 10 or 11 years old. Big old carpy almost pulling me out of the boat.
So
Good times.
Athens has the state aquarium system there.
Really?
They
Okay.
have the state record fish in Athens, Texas.
Let's
Where
see
was
that.
you fishing again?
Carpy or bass or
You weren't fishing in their aquarium, were you?
no. He had a lake house somewhere out there. I don't remember
Probably
exactly.
up by Lake Fork. Lake Fork just about 25, 30 miles up the highway. That is the best bass fishing lake we have in North Texas, and I'm willing to say it's probably one of the top 10 in the United States as far as
Well,
largemouth bass go. And they even got a couple alligators over there.
oh, I remember those too. I remember when I was like 12 years old, I chased down a baby armadillo. My grandfather's like, go get that armadillo. He's tearing up my yard. So I chased it down, and we went and took it on the other side of the mountain and dropped it off somewhere.
They were so easy to catch.
Yeah.
I've caught a bunch of them as I was a kid. And, they don't run very fast, but they turn left and right real sharp. And if you get up to them close enough and kick their butt, they start rolling like a ball. And that's when
funny.
you catch them.
Oh, I felt like a cartoon though, like zigzagging all over the yard. It was
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah. Country boys
But-
survive.
Right.
So
funny.
you are in this position where you're working and you don't realize that it's not a good setup for you. You start listening to podcasts and then you realize, wait a second, hold on, something stinks here. This isn't a good fit. I gotta go. Which is I like that because sometimes you don't know you're in a bad relationship until you tell your friends about it or hear your friends' relationships, and then you're like, wait a second, that's how things could be. So you leave there, and then I wanted to ask you. You said you went to Apex, correct? And that was your first one, but you didn't really get a lot of training. Was it Apex that you said?
Apex SEMA. Yeah.
Okay. So what was the thing that shook you awake? The thing that you were like, I need to go to training.
Oh, whoa, slow. Let me interrupt here just a minute, Don, because it's two events that take place. Okay. Don's never been to either one. I've been to them since the first one they come back from 2020. So
Yeah.
Apex is the tools and equipment that you need to be able to go to SEMA to get what you want. That's what SEMA is. SEMA is all about what you want. Okay. So
yeah.
you got to talk about both events separately because Apex means so much more to you with the training and everything you took place than what you've seen at SEMA. Okay.
Sure.
So Don, when we go in November, you'll learn all this. Okay. And he's going to let him share his wisdom, but I want you to understand it's two different events.
But they're two different events, but they're together, correct?
No, they're not together. They're
Different
on
days and everything?
one is at the convention center, one is at the Venetian Hotel.
But they're the same days. Like they're the
Yes, they run the same day.
Okay.
They run consecutive. It is I'd be willing to say it's the world's largest trade show if you included both of them together as one.
Okay.
That's why your
Yeah.
admission for one pays for the other. Okay.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
share your admission
So
costs.
one of
but
them, let me make sure I got it right. One's training, one's like looky-loo, look at all this stuff. Is that right?
one
Well,
is training tools and equipment,
Yep.
and the other one is anything shiny and pretty.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, there's the way I see it. There's like the professional pro side of it, which is Apex, the training, the business, the parts, your manufacturers, and then there's SEMA, which is the custom, showy aftermarket. Like you said, the shiny stuff. But there's a lot of, there's a lot of manufacturers involved with that stuff. That's not, it has nothing to do with OE, but it's kind of like the hobbyist side, professional hobbyist side, and then the pro side, I guess you could say.
You're
Gotcha.
right.
Does that make sense, John?
And
Yeah.
it's changing from the first day I went.
Yeah.
Used to coaches and marketing people wouldn't even consider having a booth over at SEMA because the clientele going to SEMA wasn't business owners they thought. And now they have learned there's more and more business owners that just go to SEMA that won't even go to Apex at all because they're just for entertainment there and they can catch a whole nother crowd. So I have seen now to where businesses that have been focused on Apex and having booths at Apex are having booths at both facilities, both events.
Mhm.
It's really cool to watch the trend that's changing Apex and SEMA for the better.
Nice. Well, Sonny, what
And I
was
can't
it
wait
that? Oh, go ahead, John.
I can't wait. I'm ready to be at Apex now.
I keep hearing a lot about
Yeah,
it.
me too.
So, Sonny, what was it that made you finally go to an event? Like, I know we talked a little bit and you heard about training and so on and so forth. Sometimes it sounds like some of them just didn't work out. What finally made you be like, I gotta go?
Well, so SEMA's like the holy grail car show of the year for hot rod builders and custom guys. And I've been doing hot rods and customs for, forever, basically, since it was one of my first jobs. So it's always a goal to go to SEMA. It just turns out I was like, oh, Apex is part of it. I didn't even know what Apex was because I'd never been to SEMA. So once I started, read into it, I was like, oh, okay, so I can go take classes and sit in some seminars and go see all the car show stuff. Once I got there and I was like, I met, I met Lucas, I met David, I met a bunch of people there, and I was like, oh, there's this whole other side of the industry that I need to be involved with. Not just the shiny, custom world. There's the real.
So did you meet them on Podcast Owl?
I did. I was on their podcast there, but I
Okay.
met him beforehand and got, and started having conversations with him well before that.
Okay.
And that's how I was on the podcast in the first place. It's just because I'd been interacting with him for a year before that. Because it changed my life. As soon as I started listening to them, I was like, wow, there's people out here that get me that I didn't even know about.
Yeah. And that's
it brought me out of my bubble, let's say.
Exactly. That's what you and I were talking about. Just not only are you getting like good information when you go to training, you're learning how to do things the right way to save you time and money, but you're also forging and building connections that you would otherwise really never get. Like there's one thing about building these connections via the internet that's always great, being Facebook friends or following people, but like going and meeting new people and interacting and networking and socializing can really save you in a way.
Oh yeah, it's life-changing. It's absolutely life-changing. And I started hearing about ASTA last year before SEMA, and I was like, oh, okay. And I saw, I saw the media around it, people there doing just shenanigans and whatnot. And I was like, oh, that's got to be a go-to one this year. And after going to SEMA Apex, I was like, okay, I got to go to ASTA because that would be the next.
Is started by Mike Allen. You know that.
Mike Allen. And I know him too. I made it a point to get to know all these people, even if it's just through the internet. And I met all of them last year at SEMA, and I'm just super excited to go to ASTA to take some classes with like Brandon Steckler because he's just an amazingly smart man. and just get to more inject myself into the community of what's happening.
Man, I really appreciate and love that, because I know, as someone who is very introverted, I know how, especially if you're not in the click of things, how hard it can be sometimes to just even go to these events or talk to people. And I don't know if you're introverted or not, but tell me, what advice would you give somebody who was in your shoes, or who's in your shoes now? You know what I'm trying to say. What advice would you give them to get them to go and start networking and meeting people?
Oh, don't be afraid of what's going to happen. Be excited about it. I mean, it's life changing to get to know all these people who serve all these functions around what we do with our lives every day, working on cars, whether you're a service writer or a business owner. We all are car centric people. And it'll change your life. I didn't realize that I needed to go to these things till I was at one. And now I'm like, I have to go. Like it shows we're not alone. I mean, there's so many of us out there that want to help each other make everything better, that the more of us that get together, the more we can do, right?
More we can help this industry.
This industry, exactly.
Yep.
And I didn't even know, I didn't know what I didn't know, and I still don't. But I'm excited to find out, like,
Amen. I love that.
The next step. What's the next step? I'm just excited to do it and
move forward and go forward and learn more.
Yeah, and as soon as I started seeing you on I was like on different media, like Tanika's page and whatever. I was like, this guy's awesome. I like this guy's energy. You're very charismatic, and that's why
How
I
you like
started talking to you.
Tanika's story about the first time she come to a trade show?
Yeah, I heard that, and I was like, I got to meet that guy. I loved it. Yeah.
So every year we call it our anniversary at ASTA.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Downshift with Tanika. I love that podcast.
Oh, it's great. I love it too. I listen to and like Zeb's great. He's like,
my traffic report guy.
He would take over the world if he could,
Every time I have a friend of mine trying to sell some big piece of equipment or something like that, I share it with him. I tag him. I said, "Don't you need this, Zeb?"
That's awesome. Yeah,
everything he's got just one size bigger than what I got.
Oh, his shop is I watched that the video he did where we're walking around just showing his whole building and his house, and I was just like, wow, that is a fantastic place.
It is. It's really nice. He did a really good job of that.
The systems he set up in place to make his shop that efficient is just like, I mean, it's great. It's
really great. Yeah.
And it works for him. There's a lot of people that could try to do that and it would never succeed at the level that he's doing it.
No, it's not going to work for everybody. That is a niche. He's kind of like in a niche that I am. My business is 99% fleets. Okay. And a lot of people can't do what I do. And when I hire a new technician to come in, I'm going to say, dude, this is going to blow you away what we do. Because we work on the same make and model all day long, all the time. It's just constantly. I mean, you don't need 50,000 specialty tools because you're going to focus on two makes and models. And we used to have Nissans and Fords, and we'd throw a Dodge in the mix once in a while. But now, that company that had the Nissans got rid of them. They got Ford Mavericks now. So
really?
80% of the vehicles we work on now are Fords. It's really amazing to me, the trend that I go through. And it's same thing that Zeb sees. It's the same thing, repetitive over and over again.
Yeah, I've worked on fleet vehicles. I worked on a fleet of Chevy vans for the city of Portland. They're plumber vans. And every day it was like three of the same exact Express 3500 vans. They were either 99s or 2009s because they bought like 150 in 99. They bought 150 in 2009, and it was always the intake or intake gaskets or this seal or that seal or people drilling holes in the gas tanks. Like that was a big one for a while.
Yeah,
I mean,
or the gas tank would suck up, and then we'd have to blow them back out.
Oh yeah.
What was the valve? There was a valve that caused that. The purge valve or something. It would allow vacuum from the engine.
evap purge valve, I think, would get stuck open.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a big one on those.
I just told you how
And
old we were.
yeah, yeah, I did I worked on a fleet of hot air balloon vans too, but they had like Fords, Dodge, Chevys. They're all a whole conglomerate of different things, and they would beat the snot out of those vans. I'd get them, and they were just the
Just trying
brakes
to.
are off. Just, yeah, well, they're chasing the hot air balloons, and they're just
Yep.
piping through traffic, pulling heavy trailers, and they just drove them like they were stolen.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yeah. I've had some fleet customers in the past that they knew the vehicle was going to be, when they were done with it, they knew it was going to be worth nothing because of the
Yeah,
job that they had to do, the amount of off-road that vehicle had to do, the amount of weight that vehicle had to pull to get to where we was on the job site. And it was mostly oil
yeah.
field stuff back then, but yes, it was
Oh yeah,
terrible.
oh
Yep.
yeah. I had some buddies down in Arizona and the Midland area who worked on fleet trucks, and they were just full of clay and just beat down. They're putting ball joints and tie rods on the truck every 30,000 miles because they just
That's
going
normal.
50 down a dirt road.
Yes. So in Weatherford, we have a brand new building being built at this present time. And
Nice.
I bet there's 50 bays on these two buildings. Okay. They put the sign up this week.
Okay.
It's Ford Motor Company, and they call it Elite Commercial Fleet Service. And they're only going to work on Ford. So I
Right.
see a trend coming to where they're going to be aggressive in all this fleet business that we've got going in the independent world. They want a part of
Right.
this game. Are you seeing anything like that anyplace else? Are you out there in your part of the world?
Not in my little bubble I operated. No,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see that. I do know a guy that does fleet stuff for UPS, and they
Yep.
I mean they have a 50,000 square foot warehouse, and they've got 200 UPS trucks in there all the time. And all they service is UPS trucks. That's it. And
There's
they're
nothing the matter with that. If you put all your eggs in one basket and you have that kind of
Mhm.
relationship and you can roll on, that's a cool deal.
I,
Because then you ain't got two customers. You got one customer you got to make happy all the time.
sure, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. That's kind of so. The place I work now, I work for a large auto group, and we're the used car lot, but we're also a specialty hot rod shop. We have a dyno there, so we
Uh-huh.
do a lot of dyno and tuning work on, like, say, a 65 Chevelle with a Holly Sniper, or a 2020 Corvette. We put a camshaft in or whatever.
Right.
I do a lot of cams and superchargers and stuff, but we also get all the used cars that come through the 13 dealerships through our shop to get inspected and brought up to you know up to par to be put on the lot. So it's lots of tires, brakes, oil changes on stuff from 2020 and newer, maybe a little older
Right.
18s, and service contracts on the older cars that were sold previously through our dealership.
Uh-huh.
So one minute I could be working on a '69 Camaro, the next minute I'm working on a 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander, or then
You
a
just never know.
Hyundai, and I never know. I mean, I could get handed a K5 Blazer, and I get handed a Subaru that needs a CV axle. It's
I
like
don't miss
like
those
the,
days.
we had a problem the other day, and I went down the rabbit hole, and I kind of wasted some time on it. We had a 2024 Malibu came in for a battery. The service writer put the battery in it, and all of a sudden nothing works. The brakes don't work. We're getting, so I plug it in with scan all the systems. I had all kinds of CAN bus problems, and I spent like an hour fiddling with it. And one of my coworkers comes over. He's like, "You're just looking way down the rabbit hole." He cleaned the battery terminal, tightened everything, cleared the codes. The codes wouldn't go away, so he drove it, came back, cleared the codes again. I was like, "Oh, there's a CAN bus problem. It's got a bad wire somewhere." And like, he's like, "Just clean it and drive it, dude. Just calm down." So I was like, okay, I was looking for the hard problem when it was something simple. So
Hmm.
it happens, but luckily I didn't spend too much time on it. He's like, "What I do?" And I'm like, "You just changed the battery, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "We couldn't have broken anything that bad." But of course, I went down the like it lost communication. What'd you fry? Did you hook it up backwards?
Yes. What'd you do?
It was he just cleaned the terminal.
I actually changed my first battery. I changed two of them in that old Dodge of mine. I don't know when the last time I changed batteries on something was.
Really?
So I got fired from my shop last summer because they asked me if I'd put some hood supports on, and the hood supports didn't work. So I took them out the wrong ones. Got to get me the right ones. So
Yeah.
they got me another pair, and I went and put them. And that wouldn't work either. And these don't work. What the same hood supports we put on all of them. I said, well, they're box strong. I don't know what to tell you. And then uh, I was instructed to turn them over. The ball on one end's bigger than the other end.
Ah. Mm.
Yeah. So
Sometimes we can't. Sometimes we can't see what we need to see. It's right
I'm
in
not
front of
allowed to
us.
play no more.
Well, that means you've got a good crew doing what they need to do for you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, a guy
That's a
couldn't
great
have
thing.
a better crew than what I have. I mean, the
That's
Lord
great.
has blessed me so well with having these people come into my life and do what they do. And I can
Yeah.
depend on them day in and day out. I have one of the young ladies, Krista, she has a problem with her ankle that happened back in high school. And she's fixing to have to go out for surgery in October. And
Oof.
we were talking about it last week, and she said, I'm saving up and I said, why are you saving up? Well, I won't have a paycheck for at least 2 or 3 months. I said, what are you talking about? I said, you have done everything in the world to help us to make Firm Automotive be successful. Why wouldn't we help you be successful? I said, you're not going to miss a paycheck the whole time you're out. I said, it's going to happen, you know. And she just was in tears. She didn't believe it. And I'm thinking, isn't that normal? Shouldn't a good employee be rewarded for being dependable, being on time, staying late, doing what it takes to get the job done? They invest so much into us. Why can't the owner invest back in? I just,
That should be the status quo, but unfortunately, in my experience, I haven't seen that.
I
Yeah.
just, that breaks
In
my heart
my
to think.
career, but
Yeah, breaks my
it's
heart to think people don't.
it's crazy. And you know what? That's amazing of you to take care of your people like that.
They should be.
Loyalty is something that's earned over time, and I wish I could have found somebody like you many years ago in my
A good
career, but I've bounced around a lot of shops just because of
a good friend of mine, Rick White, he's taught me about the trust bank. And each one of us have a bank account, and I'm depositing trust into them accounts all the time. And they're depositing trust into my bank account, just
Mhm.
like when we started the trip to ASTA, you know, I trusted you and I moved forward in making my dedication to you to go to ASTA, and you trusted me to make sure it happens. That's our trust account that we have in each other.
Yes,
A lot
sir.
of people don't
Yes,
have
sir.
that, and I wish they did understand what trust is to each one of us. And people use that in a relationship with a customer. Oh my gosh, that's so powerful. The golden handcuffs with the customer. That's what I think.
Yeah. No, that's very true, and and it seems like they don't want to trust because of being let down so many times. I naturally want to trust people. Of course, I'd like to know what I'm looking at and know somebody before a little bit before I trust them entirely. But a lot of the time, you just have to take it for face value and see where it goes. Um, I don't like to give somebody enough rope to hang themselves, but enough to we can play tug of war a little bit, and maybe we need to pull each other into the right direction. So,
Mhm.
but I appreciate you showing me the trust and the value in getting me to ASTA. I mean, I because I quit my Bronco job last year. I didn't take a job for about 3 months just because I didn't find the right fit. I had a couple offers. It didn't feel right. I didn't want to start a job to just leave another one.
That's
So
right.
it put me in a little bit of a financial situation where my wife and I are just getting caught up to where we want to be now. And when you offered to, sponsor me to go ACA, I was like, well, I know I can get there and I can get a room, but getting in the door is a different thing. So I appreciate you sponsoring me more than I can say in words. And I want to take that trust and run with it with you,
I love it.
So
I love it. And
Mhm.
when you get to ASTA, you're going to meet a lot of my friends in the industry, and
oh,
I'm
I can't wait to meet my
excited.
new friends.
I'm excited. We're going to go out for dinner a night or two. I'm going to have my whole team there. I found
Yep.
out Thursday last week that is surgery is going to be after ASTA,
Oh,
so she can go. And that was one of the things we were held up about. So when I get back from my trip in Canada, we're all going to sign up for ASTA. The whole show will, the whole thing.
oh wow, very
Amber
cool.
Dawn, as you know her, she's coming with us. We got
Mhm.
a big house rented out there, so um,
Nice.
I'm excited. Who else? Big Bird. Michael Gunther from Nebraska, Crofton, Nebraska. He's going to be
Oh,
hanging out with me. You'll see me, and you're going to see me a lot in the 180 booth where I help my buddy Rick out. Okay,
yeah, yeah. I
and
know who Rick is.
yeah, and if Jimmy needs me over there with the institute, I'll be right there to help him out too, depending on whether I'm a paid employee of Rick's or not. I got to watch that one. Because Rick, I went to Vision to help Rick out, and I didn't know I needed to dedicate as much as I did. And Rick, he said, I had to go to the bathroom so bad, John. You weren't nowhere around. I said, I won't let that happen again, Rick. I'll make sure I'm there for you so you can go relieve yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Cover the bases.
So when you get to
Yeah.
ASTA, you're going to the people that you met Apex and SEMA. That's a great show, but you walk past so many people at Apex and
Oh
SEMA.
yeah.
When you're at ASTA, don't expect to be walking past nobody without saying hi, without shaking a hand, without getting a hug. The camaraderie, the feeling, the atmosphere is different than any trade show I've ever been to. Okay.
That's what I hear. That's what I
And
hear.
and I haven't been to all of them,
Right.
but I promise you I've been to a bunch. Okay. And the closest that I can tell you about the feeling that I get from ASTA is going to a family reunion. That's the
I
closest feeling I get.
That's what I've heard too. Similar
Oh, you're
similar
gonna love it.
stories.
You're gonna love it,
Yeah.
Sonny. You're gonna love
Well,
it.
that's why I'm excited. It's the one I knew I needed to go to because Apex is. I mean, it's just so many. There's thousands of people everywhere. You
Yes.
can walk right by people and not know who they are. But
Yes, you're so
as I
right.
understand it, like Vision and Tools are pretty big as well, right? I mean, there's thousands of people there as well.
Well, Vision will have 4,000 people.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people, but it, it goes silent when everybody goes to class because class are spread out. It's such a, they
Uh,
use other hotels, use the college, they bus people to
uh,
other facilities. Okay.
oh wow.
When the trade show's going on, it fills up quickly. It's a huge deal. The event floor is amazing. The food, the entertainment that they have that they put together is just second to none. What they do at Vision, your enjoyment time that you did at Apex and SEMA was awesome. Awesome. I'm sure it was. Okay. Because
Hmm.
I've been every time. Every time they open doors, I go. I've been going to Vision Apex just as long. And I won't miss either one of them. That's what they mean to me. The
Hmm.
quality that's there for both of them. You
Hmm.
um, when you talk about top trainers from around the United States, you're going to see every one of them at Apex. You're going to see every one of them at Vision. You're going to see every one of them at ASTA. You're going to be able to talk to them, shake their hand, meet them in the hallway, walking around at
Yeah.
ASTA a lot quicker than you will at any of those other shows.
Yeah. I look forward to it.
That's a
I've,
soapbox of mine. I don't know why I got on that. But anyway, you can edit the hell out of that, Don.
you don't gotta sell me. You don't gotta sell me. I'm
You
already.
know, I'm just bragging.
I love it. No,
I'm bragging about a good time.
it's great. It's great.
So
You bring a lot of enthusiasm to the table about it, and I
who'd you
appreciate that.
sign up? Who'd you sign up with on
I haven't
this?
even gone and I haven't even gone to sign up yet, or I haven't even logged in to look. I've been so
Okay.
busy.
I know I got
And
you a
I
Steckler's
needed, and
class.
I wanted to talk to you about it too before I
Mhm.
signed up for anything. So anything that you suggest, I'm absolutely open to go and do. So
Because I don't know what you do in your industry where you're at,
sure,
you need to sign up for the classes that you're familiar with.
uh,
A good friend of mine
I
named
will.
Mike Clary is going to be there. He's all about diesels, okay?
All right.
Ford diesels.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to do Ford diesels, that's not a class
Nope.
for you. But he has a Lightning class too, which is an all EV class. Okay. If you're working
Okay.
and touching on EVs, that's the class you want to be in. Okay. Steckler's going to be there. And if you're having
Yeah.
problems developing a diagnosis program, how you want
Yeah.
to step it out and lay it out, by God, you need to be in his class. Keith Perkins might
Yeah.
be there. And if you need to know something about oscilloscopes or something like that, or maybe you want to know a little bit more about ADOS. What a class. Now, the two guys I want to tell you about, Jim and Brian. Shit you don't know. That's a class to take because
That's
it's just downright two country boys that are highly intelligent telling it like it is. And they'll pack that classroom out. Now they're coming to Texas and going to do it here for the Texas two-step training next
oh,
year in April. I done got
okay.
them. I got them begged and borrowed into coming. So we're going to have a heck of
Well,
a time with them boys in Texas.
I may have to come down for that.
It's going to be in April. It's going to be about it's the first week in April, ain't it, Don?
I think so. I'll double check that
Yeah,
now.
because they move Easter to March this year because the way it
Mhm.
lines up with the moon. So March took our date that we usually, Easter took our date in March. So we had to move it over to April.
So it's second weekend of April.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
any reason I can go down to Texas is good for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeehaw.
And
Yeehaw.
we're gonna try to put on a golf tournament. I've been talking with Federated Insurance about the golf tournament on Thursday. We're gonna do
Mhm.
training Friday and training Saturday, and it's free for Sunday. You go home, do whatever you want to do on Sunday. You know,
Like I said, I got friends and family in the Dallas area I need to see. So
give you the opportunity to see
always,
them.
Yeah,
Yes,
there you
yes.
go.
yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to getting some of the training at AST. I want to learn how to do oscilloscope work, picoscope work a little bit better. Get a little more dialed in with that. I mean, I might need one twice, three times a month, but I'd really like to be able to be effective with it when I do need it.
Oscar
Uh,
Gomez is on your end of the country.
Oscar Gomez, yeah, he's in
Masters
California, correct?
Automotive. Yes, he's in California.
I watch his videos too. He's a pretty smart guy, that guy.
Reach out to that son of a gun. Tell him you want to learn oscilloscopes.
Okay,
Okay, send him a PM, something like that. Tell him, hey, Buck and Bob told me you're the man.
I
Okay,
will.
this guy right here, that's Eric Merchant. Okay,
Oh, okay.
Merchant Automotive up
Hmm.
in Michigan. Okay, if you need anything for a Duramax diesel, that is your guy. Okay,
Okay.
um, if you need anything for an Allison transmission, it goes behind a Duramax.
Yep.
He makes a transmission. If you turn that Duramax up where it's the runner, he's got a transmission that'll stay behind it. Okay.
Mm.
Then
Hmm.
he's got a transmission. If you're working it, it'll stay in it.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Duramax, Allison, that's your guy. Merchant Automotive, Eric Merchant. Really good friend of mine. You know, if you get into needing some of that stuff, you need a phone number or something like that, reach out to me. I can help you with
You
that.
got it. Yeah, I don't really work on diesel stuff anymore. It's all just gasoline, little cars and hot rods.
Well, you'll
Um,
grow up someday, I'm sure.
I might, I don't know. Kind of like it being a middle-aged kid for now, you know.
So my longtime brother came to work for me and he couldn't touch diesels. Okay.
Yeah.
He allergic to the fluid. It just break him out.
Oh
And
wow.
after 32 years of working with me in diesels, okay, he finally got to where he could get involved with some diesel fuel without breaking out. So it takes some time to get used to it. His
Yeah,
name
that
was Craig Hayes. My golly, he retired about 2 years ago, and I sure miss him working with me.
So, Sonny, we're going to have you, we're sponsoring you to go out. You're excited, it sounds like. Once you figure out what classes you're taking, just let me know. That way I can sneak in and make sure you're paying attention and not sleeping. I'm just kidding. But
all
afterwards,
right.
if you were okay with it, we'd love to sit down with you to do another podcast to just see how your experience was.
Absolutely. More than happy to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Once we're on the other side, I'm
You got the
happy to
t-shirts,
share
don't
my
you?
experience.
Perfect. And
You
then
have the Texas two-step t-shirts,
I
right?
do.
Yeah, get him some,
All right. I sounds like
please.
I'll be there, so I'll give you some
You're
t-shirts
gonna
while
be
I'm there.
there.
Sounds like I'm gonna be there. You know, you and I were talking a whole bunch about the importance of kind of encouraging people to get into the community and be a part of the community, right? Making sure that
Mhm.
we're trying to get people to go to training and, you know, just be better in general. Yeah, I am excited to see now that you're really in on this and you're meeting everybody and you're shaking hands, kissing babies, all that. I'm excited to see a year from now, 2 years, 5 years, where you're like Buckaroo Buck and Bob, where you're shouting from the rooftops on how great everything is and you're sponsoring people to come or just rallying up people to come to these events. So I'm really excited to see what it has in store for you in the future.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So am I. I feel the momentum building every day, and I mean, I'm in a better place 2 years in from just even bumping into the podcast than I was. I don't know where I'd be. I know I wouldn't be where I'm at now, and I'm super happy where I'm at now, and I can only imagine where it's going to go in the next couple of years as I learn more and meet more people, and I would like to get more people to come with us on this journey, right?
Amen.
To make it better for everybody,
Absolutely.
for the
Yes.
owners, the technicians, the customers, the manufacturers, everybody. We can all do better when we try, right?
Amen. Amen.
One person at a time is all we got to do. One
Mm-hmm.
person at a time.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's true. I think I got one of my service riders last week hooked. He started listening to the podcast, so I'm gonna keep pushing him to keep listening, keep engaging.
So you are like in the technician role. Whenever you see these things for shop owners, like these trainings or Facebook things for shop owners, do you feel like you get things out of that when you're watching them? Or do
Yeah,
you
I
just
do.
kind of, okay. I just didn't know
Oh,
it.
I do absolutely.
Mhm.
I've actually owned. I've had my own shop twice, and I realized,
Oh,
well, the first one was just it was a slow grind into failure. That I learned a lot from. I learned that I didn't really want to do it that way again.
okay. Yeah.
And then I opened a shop here in Oregon, just as a small one man show, put prompted into it by somebody who didn't understand the auto industry the way he thought he did, and kind of after about a year of grind, I was like, okay, so I own a job. I don't really just want to own a job.
Mm.
So I closed down so I could. I'd rather work with a team anyway and have better. I'd rather work with a team and have better resources than to just have what I have
Yeah.
myself. I can sell the work. I can talk to the customers. I can fix the cars. I can't do it all at once. So I decided I'd just go back to I'm focusing on being a better technician than trying to be a business owner,
Hmm.
at least for the time being. I mean, I might open it up another shop in a couple of years, but I don't feel like I'm equipped to do that. And after enough training, possibly.
Possibly. With that being said, if you do decide to go forward and open up your own shop, what does training look like for your employees?
Oh, I get them as much training as I possibly can, whatever they're interested in doing, or if I see maybe there's a subject that they're not great at, if I can get them interested in learning how to do it better, and if I wish I would have had somebody that would prompt me into bettering my skills the way I prompt myself into it.
Hmm.
But I mean, you can lead a horse to water, but it doesn't mean, they're going to drink the beer. So
Exactly.
And you got to know how to afford to send them to training as a shop owner.
ex- exactly. Yeah.
If you don't know how to be responsible enough to put 3% of your total sales back into a train savings account, you're always going to say, I can't afford to train because you're not putting the money back to save up for it. That's the only
Yeah.
way I can take my whole team to events like this, much less jump up and say, Sonny, I'll buy your ticket. It's because I put the money back every week to pay for
Yeah.
training.
Well, exactly. So I've only been at the shop for about 4 months, and I asked one of the first questions I asked them was like, "Do you guys pay for training? Do you guys, what's up with that? They're like, nobody asks. I was like, you've never sent anybody to training ever. And of this shop being open for 20 years, they've never sent anybody to training. And it just blew my mind. I mean, our store represents 13 different brands under the umbrella of the dealership I work for, and they don't. I'm like, we don't do Mopar training, Stellantis, we don't do anything, no Ford, no nothing. And they're like, no. I'm like, why not? They're like, because we work on used cars and hot rods. I was like, there's still training involved.
There's still
Like,
training involved. Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, well, part of it is say I get a 2025 Toyota with a whatever fault in the stereo. Car's under warranty. They just send it to Toyota. So like if it takes more than an hour of diag, they just send it to the next dealership.
Right.
Which I think we're supposed to be the hot rod specialty shop. And
but if you can do something like that with some training,
yeah,
you
exactly.
don't have to take the hour it takes to send something someplace to bring it back.
Exactly.
The fee that you're going to pay to have it diagnosed, you can step up to the plate and you can do all that in-house.
That's my point to the manager and the shop foreman. Shop foreman's amazing at what he does, but he has a very kind of narrow scope of what he likes to do. And if he can't diag it right away, he sends it off to the store. I want to be the other guy in the shop that can diag whatever walks in the door for whatever it is. We can figure out what it is, so we don't have to send it to another store for any reason.
I love that. So true. I want to be that guy.
I want to be that guy. I'm almost that guy. I'm already right there. It's a building trust factor with them because, like I said, I've only been there about 4 months. But pretty much anything I ask them, say, hey, can I give it a crack? Let me look on that. And they're like, go ahead. And then we all, if I spend too much time on it, we're like, okay, let's send it off. But I don't want to have to do that. I want our shop to be the sharp edge of the sword in the dealership. So when they have problems, they do send us weird problems, but it's like they don't know how to diag a 97 Corvette because it's too old. Well, we work on those all day long, stuff like that. No, I want to be indispensable. I usually am at every shop. I try to make myself the person that they lean on to whenever the weird problems happen. That make yourself indispensable, and you always have a place,
Exactly. Oh, you're muted, John.
Yep, I just realized that. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I look down and say, no, my red light's on. I'm muted. I love it. I love what you're saying, Sonny. Great words.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
Well, we're right about at time. I wanted to see, was there any other topic we wanted to hop into?
I think we've done a hell of a job.
I think we did
got.
Too. I think we did a bang up, bada bing, bada boom.
Hey.
Hey.
I appreciate you guys having me on. I look forward to meeting you all in person and where this path takes us all,
Exactly, yeah. It's going to be a hoot and a holler. And yeah, I'm excited to meet you. I'll bring you those t-shirts. And then hopefully in April, we'll see you out in Texas. So we can
we ship him the t-shirt so he can wear them to ASTA.
Because we're going to be there and I'd like to shake his hand and hand him a t-shirt.
Put his name on it before he comes.
I'll pack 2 of them. I'll pack 2 of them.
I like it. Sold.
I love it.
This show grows because of shop owners like you. If you've got a story, a challenge, or a question that could help someone else in the industry, share it with us. Scan the QR code or click the link in the show notes, and let's make this community stronger together.